Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, I call the meeting to order. We have a roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Tom?
Not here.
Al?
Here.
Military Captain Joyce, sorry, folks. Here. Paul?
Here.
Mary Ann?
Here.
Larry?
Here.
All coming in present.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I have an approval of the agenda, please?
I move to approve the agenda.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Can I have the sheet open forum, please? Okay, Joe Burry, please, you're up. Okay, one second. Hello? You're on.
Am I on? Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Joseph Berry, Colchester Street. Been here before. I'd just like the board to submit through Shante to me responses from the board. I only have 3 minutes to talk. One, a year ago we were promised the dog park. Never happened. Never heard anything more about it. I'd like to have a response on that. Number two, there's a code section which I submitted, 55.1 to 1817. The board shall establish a reasonable, effective method appropriate to the size and nature of the association to interact with each other. I understand there was a town hall meeting that I couldn't make. Is the town hall meeting going to be satisfied that according to you, or are you going to come through? Al promised the website would be interactive by this time. As far as I can tell, it's not. Number three, we've got a budget that was sent out before, and it says that in the proposed budget at least, that 87% of expenses for 2024 were listed. Well, that totaled up to 149%, which doesn't make sense. But my point in coming to this is the legal fees again, which I mentioned a month or so ago or 2 months ago. Why are we spending $200,000 on legal fees? I think we owe it to the community to know what you're spending it on. So that's number three. Number four, I mentioned a golf course amenity of about $150,000. Well, or what we can afford, and at least look forward, going forward in some respect. They help our property values quite substantially. And I think we ought to at least address the issue of not raising our HOA dues, but finding where ways we can make cuts. Number five, I'd like a response on the Property Enhancements Committee report that I submitted to all the board members and to the to Keith and the members of the PEC. I have to say, whoever the guy was that did our assessment of the community, he said everything was in great shape. I did an evaluation myself, which I was sent around to do, and I think there are some questions on that, and particularly one question on one of the monuments that's out there, which is signage is totally different than everywhere else. And finally, my neighbor at 10112 Colchester, I've asked time and time again about fixing his backyard. It's getting grown over now. He's got a desk and other paraphernalia back there, and I'd like to have it all removed and the stumps cut down to where they're supposed to be. That's all, and I hope I get a response to all 6 of those, maybe via email or somewhere else. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Okay, Tanya.
Board and Glenn Eagles. First, I want to say thank you for following up on the issues that my neighbors and I brought up at the last meeting. I was wanting to find out what, if any, suggestions are going to come to fruition
I'm gonna cover
about
that.
the, okay. And then additionally, I walk around the whole neighborhood quite often, and I've noticed that the sign poles, specifically in my neighborhood, the posts are very worn. They're not straight up and down anymore. They're kind of,
Street signs.
yes, street signs. And I did notice walking by the greens that they have some new posts. I didn't know if that in the works for the other neighborhoods as well.
Yeah, they came up with the money to replace theirs.
Okay, so what do I need to do, have a big
You
sale?
have a big checkbook.
Okay. Well, I paid HOA dues.
Enjoy news.
No, we'll take a look at it.
Okay, all right, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much, Tanya. Okay, can I have approval for the meeting minutes of April 3rd, please?
I move to approve the meeting minutes from the April 3rd board meeting.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Thank you, the ayes have it. Officer report, I've got a few things this evening. One is out on the lighter side. We're going into duck control. It appears that ducks are becoming a nuisance in here. Somebody sent me a picture of 3 ducks in the pool the other night, okay? And I know one of my neighbors has reported a stray duck in her bushes or something. So I think Lorraine is now designated duck control person, okay?
And what do you propose Lorraine do with that
She's gonna get a little net and go out there.
You'll get a shotgun?
No, none of that.
No, none of that.
But anyway, so we've got that. Some of you may have seen in the paper, or if you got the Freelance Star, that Davis Sanitation is no longer Davis Sanitation, it's now Choice. So there's another one that even though Davis had wanted a bid on our contract, they've now been swallowed up by Choice. So, we're down to now 2, okay, that we know of. So that's coming out. The roundabout is starting early. There was supposed to be a meeting with VDOT coming early May where all residents in Lees Hill and Lees Hill School Road could attend to discuss the roundabout. Supposedly the builder came in and said he would like to start early, and VDOT said go. Well, that negated the May meeting because nothing would come about it since they've already, now they've started. I've seen some action going on. So that was going to be something we had on the books, but didn't come about. We had, at one of our last meetings, the one that young lady was talking about on Foxcroft, the subdivision on Lees Hill School Road, on access coming from them to us, and there were some concerns on that. That we had the gentleman here, Gene Brown, with us that night, and he indicated that he would get with us to talk about and work something out. Well, he did. Sometimes you don't know what developers are going to do. They kind of blow you off. But in his case, he did call, set up with Shantae, a meeting which we had this morning in your area. So Shantae and I and this gentleman, Gene Brown, went out there and walked around, looked at it, talked about a number of things. And where we ended up being that putting up a fence would be a challenge, okay, in that area. Primarily, when you go to the east, there's not many trees, but the property line goes right through this whole grove of trees. And to take some of those down is not only, be a costly endeavor, but the people who lived in your community that faced that, or back up to that clearing would wipe out a bunch of stuff that would open it up. So we looked at, we're going to have another meeting with them and a horticulturist or a landscaper to come in and see what we can do with some trees, plant some trees, okay, that would eventually fill in that area. And that looks like that's the best alternative right now. There is one part of that dam, it's an emergency spillway for, excuse me, It's an emergency spillway for the pond that they have, the dry pond. And we went through it this morning, he gave us a presentation on the different levels and what would occur. That spillway is supposedly there for a 100-year flood that comes through. So if the water gets that high, you better get ready to move out, okay? But there's nothing much we can do about the cutout for the spillway. And that's about 10 feet, I think. But the rest of it, we're looking to take care of, hopefully with some vegetation, Leland cypress, those kind of things that grow fast and grow tall. And so we're supposed to have another meeting. He's going to get with us when his people are ready to come by, and we're going to come and relook at it again. Okay, well.
I'll come out, I'll bring goodies.
Okay, well, no, that, we'll find that part, okay. Give Shantae your number, please, okay? And we can call you when we're going out, all right?
Who's the contractor that worked?
Atlantic Builders.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been very good, they were sponsored. You know, the guy was really forthcoming. And so, as I said, I was shocked that they seemed to be able to do something. So there's a lot of these contractors.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Come see me later.
he's the one that showed up at the meeting as well.
Yes,
on
that's
Saturday.
right,
So
yeah.
he was here in attendance for our town hall.
Oh, is he also a resident?
No,
No.
he's not. He's a project manager
Yeah.
for Atlantic Builders.
But he
Okay.
took the time to come to our town hall.
Oh, yeah, he came and sat in Larry's seat,
Yep.
kept it warm for him.
What else might be cutting out?
I think you have to talk right into the mic.
Yeah.
You gotta stay
I'm
on.
sorry.
There you go, you gotta stay in it.
But
Then we also missed open forum for the homeowners on the Zoom. We have a-
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. All right, good point.
If you wish to address the board, please unmute yourself. You have the floor.
Yeah, this is Andrew down at Colchester Village. I just had a quick question. I see one of the items for discussion is a proposal from Welford Engineering. I was just curious if it would be possible to get a list of the 26 sites that they're going to be inspecting. Just because my neighbor and I, stormwater management's been a topic of conversation we frequently had with the board and the front office, so just want to make sure the area that we've been having a contention over is if it's included in that list of 26 or not. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the board
Is
during
he
the open
talking about
forum?
retention ponds, or what is he talking about?
No, he's talking about the
The
inspection.
stormwater. Yeah, the stormwater.
So it's
is
page,
different.
if you look at the agenda, it's page 40.
these
And
are
we're
for
gonna do,
detention and retention.
yeah, it's like a
ponds.
water, there's 26 stormwater management facility
No,
sites
that's not
located
that.
throughout the
Yeah, that's
community.
not that.
And there's 27.
Well, the motion says 26.
But it's 27.
Okay. Perhaps Andrew could send the sites that he's concerned about to Shante, and we could cross-check.
It's not, these are detention ponds that the
Okay, okay.
county
Right.
requires
He's
inspection. This
concerned
is
about
not.
the drainage area down there, I believe. You might just ask him.
This is, it's like, you know, where the,
Could they add what he's talking about to
down,
purposes?
no.
No, it's not
part of it. It's
not part of it,
Detention ponds down the end of Monticello.
Which area are you specifically referencing?
I'm basically referring to, there's the drainage culvert that runs directly underneath Colchester Street and then adjoins line of my neighbor's property and then goes back into
Okay.
the drainage ditch portion
Yeah,
that's flowing by Lee's
yeah,
Hill.
that is
Basically,
not,
when you guys water blasted out that culvert, now it's a giant pond, we've got the mosquito breeding ground and copper. And then the area that's past our property hasn't been maintained at all, so basically silt is washed up on ours, and the front office has continued to contend that it's mine and my neighbor's responsibility to dredge that out, which I feel is beyond the responsibility of two homeowners, because you're talking Truins and Upper Colchester all drains down that hill and flows into that culvert in our drainage ditch.
okay, but I think that contract we're talking about is not for that specific area. Okay, it's just for detention ponds,
Yeah.
okay? So,
Okay.
okay, thank you. Anybody else?
That was it.
Okay.
Were you finished talking about the trees and so
Oh,
on?
go ahead.
Did you say that they were amenable to paying for that, for the trees?
Putting some trees in,
Awesome.
okay?
So we won't have to pay for it, no
Yeah, as of
big
right now, no cost was talked
deal?
about.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thanks.
All right,
Is
Tom's not with us. Terry?
No, sir, I have nothing to report.
Okay, Joyce?
I just wanted to say we had our monthly budget and finance meeting, and Denise can address some of the things and what we're waiting for, 2 reserve transfer letters that came out from that meeting
Okay,
that need to be signed.
all right. Paul?
I don't have anything.
All right. Mary Ann?
Yes, the Welcome Committee has a new chairperson. Her name is Deborah Hall.
Is that the same one as before?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, she just got on board not long
Oh,
ago.
she meant she was at the meeting with us, wasn't she?
I don't think so.
Okay, I thought she was at the meeting upstairs with us.
Oh, that meeting, yes.
Okay, okay,
All right.
all right.
I wasn't clear on that. But I think she'll do a good job. She seems to be well informed about what needs to be done.
Okay.
And if she needs help, I'm there to help, so.
Well, we just had a new list come out.
Yes, I know, I just got it
Okay.
yesterday. Yes.
Good. Larry?
No report.
Okay, Denise?
Just a couple things. We noticed when we got the financials, the refund for the utility bill charges for processing wasn't in there, so I don't know if Cynthia knows if they're processing it in April or May. Remember last month we talked about that, so I didn't know if they've done that yet because we didn't see that in the March financials.
I will double check, but it should be in April.
Okay. The other thing I had was kind of a request question, I guess. I didn't know, Shantae, if you keep what we would like to see in the package going forward, if we could get monthly, a spreadsheet of the reserve items that you put into play. As far as, you probably have a list of what's required and then the ones that you actually did and the dollar value. Because for us to try to do it at the end of the year, we have to look through all the criers to find out what was approved and you have all that. So if you could give that to us, that'd be a great help. And then I actually have a question, which I don't know if it's related to finance necessarily, but the playground that we had put in, I know it was really expensive. I wasn't sure if the contract included grading and drainage of the area, because I've noticed, haven't been up here every day, but the few times there's been standing water. And so I didn't know if that's something that the contractor was supposed to do, and we can call them to come back and look at it if you see that it is a potential problem.
We had them look at it because we thought it was a little bit lopsided. It just didn't look as flat to us. We had them come out and inspect it, and they said, according to their standard, that was the best they could do with that area. He said it was a very hard area to get level because there is a corrugated pipe or some type of drain that runs under that area. And he said without taking that out and relocating that, that was the best they could do to that area. So we had Shenandoah come out and do some edging and some landscaping in that area and do some mulch to kind of catch
Are you
it.
talking about like where the new swing set is down to the,
Yeah.
okay. And then there was one other spot that I'm not sure that is always a problem, where the old swing sets are, and right in front of like the bench area, that kind of has some standing water sometimes. I think the other side was worse, but just wanted to bring it to your attention in case you wasn't aware of it.
Okay,
That's all I have.
great, thank you, Denise. Keith, I guess Keith is not on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Joyce, why didn't you just say it?
Well, I had
Something that came through,
I thought you were
an
gonna-
item that came up during our meeting, which again, kind of related to finance, other than it costs money. The grill that we have there has been is pretty old, and I didn't know if maybe we wanted to look at replacing it. This year, I don't come up here all the time, but last year I actually saw a family using it, and it's kind of grungy, so I didn't know, I don't think it'd be a great expense to replace that.
How old is the grill?
Oh my God, it's gotta be 20 years.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
That is all.
Is that old enough?
I was like, just call it.
Old enough?
well, I mean, it's nothing fancy, it's just like a park style that you have to bring
Okay.
charcoal, but yeah, it's pretty old.
It's beyond.
So it's charcoal wood?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Do they make those anymore?
Yeah,
Well, I just saw some great units in our park area, a rest area.
Home Depot does them.
Oh, do they? I didn't see them there.
Okay, anything else, Denise?
That's it, thanks.
Okay. Keith, as I said, is absent. Sarah Dixon?
Say Yeah, just a reminder that we have summer splash scheduled for May 31st, and we're working on getting dates saved for the summer movie nights. Is Tanner still our contact for the pool, Shantae?
Yes, he is.
Okay, and so once we get those dates set, we'll work on getting ads out. That's all we have for now.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. Okay, so our new chairman of the welcoming committee is not here. Do you want to say
Yes.
anything?
Do I what?
Say anything?
No, no.
Okay, all right. And Keith on property enhancement, he's not here either, so we'll let that go. All right, new business. The first item is tab B, some paving. Anybody want to jump on that one, please?
I move to approve the proposal from NVM in the amount of, $176,323 to mill and pave within the greens.
I second that motion.
Is the NVM proposal in the packet? Because I don't see it.
Yeah, so it's under roads, that is their.
Okay.
So I have a question. Yeah, discussion. Can I discuss?
Sorry.
Are we in discussion?
Yes, I'm sorry, excuse me.
So I was just curious with those of you that have been here for a while, do we have experience with NVM, Brothers, or George's paving? Or is there maybe a lot of experience?
NVM paved Germain Point and the north side parking lot, so back in about 2 minutes.
Yes, so they're.
That's right. Paved it?
Yeah, so they're a known vendor and do good work. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. And the only other thing, and I think it might be in the proposal, but when you come, when you come past the golf course and you have that, in the greens, you have that first set of houses on the left, is there a parking area included in that as well? It's not on the map, because when you come straight in Corbin, they're like, it's not, yeah, it's right, it would be like right there, right? So I don't know, I thought I saw something in there, I don't know if that was supposed to be included or
Why would
not.
they do the parking areas?
Yeah.
Usually they have a separate price for striping.
Oh,
That's why I questioned the
Oh,
same
okay.
thing.
Yeah, so,
For all, let's say, the overflows and
Yes.
stuff, I couldn't, unless I missed it looking at that, I didn't see something specifically for striping.
I don't think we've ever had striping.
and-
You've got little overflow lots,
But they
yes,
don't
you've
have,
got to have them
they don't
striped.
have,
well, they did the ones in your area. They put striping in there, I thought on the backside for the 5/8.
Was that NBM?
No, it was Brothers that did that one.
But the NBM is what I,
Oh,
yeah. So the first, under the first description, it says, First Street to the left, 3,400 square feet. So I don't know if that's what it is or not, but I think we need to look at that and make sure it's.
that's probably what Michael.
So,
Yeah.
Where the fire was.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking, yeah, where the fire was. I didn't
Yeah.
see it- On the map, it didn't look like that was
Oh, okay.
included. That's what I'm talking
No,
about.
but my question was the parking.
For the
places.
overflows, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, striping for the
Well-
overflows.
I was just gonna say, so on page 21 of the packet, it does have entrance striping for the roads proposal. It does say entrance striping,
Entrance.
entrance striping.
Yeah, but it's not saying like parking.
and
Right.
I think
Areas.
it's because
Okay.
currently there were no striping, because even Brothers asked me, he said, you asked for striping, he said that there's no striping on there, so I don't know if it was just worn off and you guys used to have lines there.
Okay.
Even in the overflow parking, there's no lines.
There's no lines?
Larry, was there a line
You're all the good parkers.
They are pretty good partners.
Do you want them to do the lines, or?
well, if we haven't had them before,
I would say just stay with the status quo.
is Joyce gonna drive down there?
Now you're gonna have one.
Choice this time, right? Okay.
Maybe just a parking space painted in front of your house.
Yeah.
You can pull in there.
How about that?
Thanks.
Yeah, they park pretty well, but I just want to make sure where Michael lives.
Got
Is on, yeah.
Okay, any other discussion on that?
Well, the only thing I would say, if it's in what their proposal was, let them do it. If it's not, I don't
Well, I'm
think.
not gonna take it out if they've got it in.
Exactly, that's my point.
Okay.
Yeah, just leave it as it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it's $1,900.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? You guys have it, thank you. Okay, next one.
I move to, I move to approve the proposal from Hardscapes in the amount of $14,060 to repair the monument signs at the following locations. And
I'll second the motion.
Okay, any discussion?
I just have a question, and I'm kind of sad that Joe left, because I think one of the things in his list that he brought up were the
Yeah.
monuments, right?
No, he was doing it one monument.
Well, no, but in his five, it's the one monument he thinks is out of
Yeah, that's mine.
spec. Right, well, okay, but anyhow, one of his five was the monuments, right? And they needed to be
Clean.
cleaned and repaired.
Exactly.
So it looks like this will take care of it now. Okay. So I just wish you would have stayed on that.
and we've had art.
He would have been 20% happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I just think that's great.
We have had artscapes in the past
Okay.
as well.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
So it'd be considered.
Okay, next one, on BMP inspections. What Joe was talking about, what Winkle was talking about.
I move to approve the proposal from Welford Engineering in the amount of $6,000 to inspect 26, or
27.
change to 27 stormwater management facilities located throughout the community.
I second.
Okay, discussion,
Just
all in favor?
Well, just, I have
Oh,
a, just real quick discussion. 6,000 seemed like for inspections, for 20, I guess inspecting 26 items. So what is, so on a per item basis, if you do 6,000 divided by 27, how much is that?
It's a little over 200.
Okay. Is that what it usually costs?
well, that's what we paid
Have you
roughly.
seen the size of some of our ponds?
Yeah, yes.
Are those just the ponds, or as you're like walking on the trails, are they also inspecting those manhole covers that you see? Oh, those are different.
Detention ponds are where water drains
Collects and
into
collects.
and then disperses.
Okay,
And the retention ponds are the big ones like you see down at the end of
oh,
Monticello.
that's
and
you, okay.
The FOP, where the FOP is on the north side and.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Louisiana.
they're gonna conduct the inspections, and then in 2 or 3 months, they're gonna have what is wrong with everything, and we're gonna have to go ahead and vote on that,
If there's anything to be
if
done,
there's anything to be
right,
done. Okay,
they provide a report.
okay.
I think they don't just provide one inspection per year, they do about 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken, at different times of the
No,
year.
they're inspected by Welford once every 3 years.
Is it every 3
It's
years?
required by the
I
county
thought I
every
saw
3
something in
years.
their proposal, okay, something, okay. I stand
Well,
corrected.
what you're talking about, any corrections, there are specific corrections or things they can and cannot have around the retention or in a detention pond. When we were first made to clean these out in 2013, I believe, there was substantial work that had to be done. And then we put it in the landscape contract that they at least maintain it because there was involved a lot of tree removal. Trees can't be growing like within 100 feet of the pond and stuff.
Yeah, we had like 6 trees that had been taken out of ours. The
Yeah.
county said they didn't check them, but they should.
Right.
Okay.
So, wait, one additional question, so the contract is for 26 at 6,000. So adding that 27th, is that price going to stand?
That's a good question.
I will confirm with her because she did the last round of inspections, so if it was a part of the last round of inspections, then it should be included in that.
Yeah,
price.
we've had 27 since Bricken Lane was
And it
done.
must just be a typo, because she said if we did the last round, we need the same, the last round that I was for.
Okay, thank you.
It also says here, after things are repaired, they will do a
Yeah.
re-inspection as part of this contract.
Oh,
So we don't have to pay them again.
Okay.
All right, swim team.
Do we have to vote?
We thought we voted yes on that one.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in discussion. Okay, so I'll take this one. I move to approve the Lee's Hill Lightning Swim Team's use of the North Pole for their morning and evening practices as stated in the motion.
I second.
Okay, any discussion?
Just give me 1 second to read this.
What kind of year are you gonna have this
We
year?
had a great year. We have a new head coach who came on board, a new assistant coach. We have 3 student coaches. As of our board meeting the other day, I think we had 38 swimmers signed up so far.
Oh, that's
One still
exciting.
before we start, so.
You got a lot of coaches, you got any swimmers?
We have 38 as of the other day.
What's the age range, just out of curiosity?
The oldest age was 18.
Okay.
And as young as they wanted, the youngest age division is 6 and under.
Okay.
So as long as they can get from one end of the pool to the other unassisted, and they can grab the lane lines, I mean, they'll get DQ, but they can grab the lane lines if they need to. And usually by the end of the summer, even our little ones, like our little 4-year-olds that grab the lane line at the beginning, are getting to the end by the end of the season, so. It's really cool to see their
Yeah.
Well,
progress.
that's something you've got to see for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I was involved with the Montclair swim team years ago, and to see them come in at a very young age, and
Yeah.
either grab the ropes or grab the side of the pool.
Yeah,
But at the end of the season, they're going.
yeah.
You know, it's amazing.
One of our little kids last year, she was new on the team last year, she was maybe 5. At the meet at Fox Point, I think she kind of panicked in the middle of her race, and our head coach had to dive in and kind of help her to the end. And then I wasn't there for this meet towards the end of the season, but I think another little girl in her race was kind of had a little panic attack too, and she had already finished, and she swam back and like encouraged the other swimmer, like, come on, you can do this, you can do this. So, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
Anything with that first motion?
I don't have any issues, I'm good with it.
So I move to approve the Lee's Hill Lightning Swim Team, that's a mouthful, use of the North Pole for 3 home meets, a team breakfast, and an award banquet as the schedule outlined in the proposal.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
okay, no further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm assuming all your data was correct in there.
Is it like the dates of our meets?
Yeah, it's morning Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 10:05,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is mailbox cleaning, painting.
I move to approve the proposal from J.R. Bear for the cleaning and painting of all cluster mailboxes and parcel boxes throughout the community, not to exceed.
$4,080.
Because there was one section in Glen Eagles, he was not able to give me the price for that one yet, so.
Well, looking at it, they've got probably about 3 cluster boxes or 3 locations.
4 boxes altogether.
Well, 4 boxes, but that's on, I'm going by what Turnberry East has for about the same amount of houses. Not to exceed
$5,000?
$4,300.
Put a little wiggle in there, a little wiggle room.
Well, it's 4,000.
4,500.
4,500.
Let's do 4,500.
Okay,
Just in-
4,500.
Just in case.
Just in case, a little wiggle just in
Not to
case,
exceed 4,500.
so we don't have to come back
Well, they're going to have to come back.
with the price.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay, we have a second?
I'll second. Oh, sorry.
Okay, Mary Ann, thank you. Any further discussion?
Just a curious, go ahead, Joyce, please.
I did want to say, Turnberry Towns is not in here. Villas of Turnberry and Turnberry Towns share the same clusters. So Villas of Turnberry is not paying $710.
That's a really good point, yeah.
That's how that area is always divided. So 78% of the cost will be Turnberry Towns, and 22%, since they only have 30 units, will be the Villas of Turnberry.
Makes sense.
My only question was, how are they gonna clean the boxes? Because there could be mail and things in there, and those things aren't watertight. So that was my question, how they would be clean, get the painting.
Could we email the households that are going to be affected and just give them a heads up about the cleaning?
Everybody in those sections.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He said a hand wash,
Oh, they're going to.
okay, good.
Okay.
I just saw Pressure washer.
Yeah, I assume pressure washing.
Paint, everybody's mouth's wet,
The nail's
so.
shooting out the back end.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I had in my head, so thanks for that.
Okay. All right, next. Oh, wait a minute, we got, I'm sorry, excuse me, I thought we'd already done that.
Yeah.
We have a habit of talking afterwards.
I'm sorry.
Just real quick question before we go on this. How frequently do we do this washing? Is this an annual
No.
event?
No.
No.
Okay. How frequently do
As
we?
needed.
Okay, so how do we figure that out? Did Shante go out there and take a look at the mailboxes?
We got some calls from some people.
Okay.
Okay, well, Larry and I went around, I know the one across the street over here, we saw the door hanging off it. We were riding around.
I
So
think
people were
I
more-
think an annoying person in the greens also.
Yeah, was it you? Was it you?
Someone, yes, I know, yes, someone familiar to all of you. We got the post replaced, so that was great, so. Someone I know. Yeah, someone I know.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Okay. The next one, Sticky Wicket one. Somebody want to take it?
I'll go, and then I move to approve modifying the management agent spending limit authority from $5,000 to $2,500 to award contractual work with board approval as stated in Schedule D, Section 2.2 of the CMG contract.
Okay, we have a second.
I second.
Okay, we have a discussion.
You should probably lead the discussion because I think you're the impetus. Oh.
No, I only got the notice to put it in.
Oh, why? Yes.
You misread the thing.
Okay, I thought you said that you, or I thought Tom had said, or somebody had said that you were the reason.
No, yeah, Shante had put it in,
I
and
just
I
said
had
you
put
told me to
it
add
on,
it.
I put it on the
Okay.
schedule.
I guess the first question is, if we add this, so if we pass this, we're gonna have a whole lot more contracts potentially that we're gonna have to vote on. So how many contracts do we have on a monthly basis or on an annual basis that fall between 5,000 and 2,500?
I don't think we have a clue on the number, actual number.
Okay.
But we've had a lower limit other than what was passed to increase it to 5,000 last year. And didn't have a problem.
Is 5,000 okay with people, or do you want it low, do you want it at 2,500? Because that doesn't seem like that much money for our community, because we're such a big community.
Like I said, we had that forever until last year. So what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think it happened last
quantity-
year, I think we changed, so that, this got changed in the summer of 2022, so it's been 2 years that we had the 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, when they came on board or?
It was like, so Al had specified, because he had sent in his email that it got changed, and it got changed in June
It
2022.
must have
So
been.
me
I don't
and
even
Terry
remember
weren't,
it,
like
so
Terry and I
must
weren't
not
part of that
have been.
conversation, because we didn't come onto the board until December of 2022.
Okay, I must not have been at that board meeting, because I don't even remember this, going up to 5,000. You didn't vote per se.
I'm kind of like indifferent. Whatever.
Well, my question is, okay, if we wanna, if it's 5,000, why are we voting on cleaning and painting mailboxes?
For
Even
4,000.
if it's 300, sometimes we have Al sign a proposal, so we kind of really.
I mean, I signed it.
Yeah, we don't do anything without you guys knowing it anyway.
No, I'm saying, why are we voting on this for the mailboxes?
So
when-
when I did the board packet, I anticipated having other proposals coming in, so I just put it in the event that someone would come in higher. J.R. Bear is usually one of the lowest, so I figured if he was at 4,000, another one would probably come in a little bit higher.
Okay.
But they just didn't come in.
Nobody-
They just didn't-
nobody else
did.
came.
Nobody else submitted their proposals.
Didn't we have that for the last one? Didn't we have more people participating on the last one?
We sent the bid out to multiple people, but they're the only ones that responded.
Okay.
So in the event that somebody else responded, I put it on the packet.
Help a revision.
Yeah.
And we have homeowners that are complaining because we're spending too much money. And we don't need a management company to get blamed for spending our money on things in that area. We're elected to do that, and hopefully we're all looking out for the best interest of the community.
Yes, I would think so.
So,
Well, what does the management company think? What is the preference or the recommendation of the management company?
I think when we came, we thought well, when I came, because when I came, I thought it was rather low, and I talked with Cynthia, and she agreed that it was low, and she did a research analysis just saying, okay, what is the standard for a community of our size, and most communities of our size are about 5,000. And what that basically means is that if something comes to us that needs to be repaired, or there's a maintenance issue, instead of getting a bid and sending it out to multiple proposals, and then having it come to the board, which delays it. If it's under that spending limit, if it's within reason, we'll get the bid, or get the proposal, I'll sign it, and then proceed, as opposed to having to prepare an RFP, send out multiple bids, and go down that path of process, so.
I guess my question on $5,000, and looking at the financials too, and seeing who's doing the work. Power washing, for instance. Do you check with more than one company?
We do, yes.
Because we had, with the bathhouses, we had huge costs for power washing, cleaning the signs. I mean, I only see Clean Slate anymore to do gutters.
No, so Clean Slate did all of the power washing for the gutters and everything. I think we asked him for a proposal for that pool, but he just didn't, he couldn't do it before pool
How about
opening.
the signs?
He did the signs.
Well, you just said that he does the gutters. He did the
I mean,
signs?
he did the signs in the gutters. But I mean, for
Okay.
the pool in particular, he was not able to give us a proposal in time before the pool opened, and they were filthy. And the pool vendor last year did not cover that, so.
Larry, so I just want to respond to Larry. I see his point in terms of we're elected officials and we should be careful with how we spend money with HOA. But if we have to vote on every contract under 5,000, like Shanti is saying, that's going to slow down the process. So things that could get fixed more quickly or things that could be dealt with more quickly are now going to have to wait for a board vote, and it's also going to be just a more tedious process because she's going to have to put 3 bids together, and she's going to have the paperwork of 3 bids and everything's going to be presented to the board. So I guess the question is it worth it? Is it worth that
My
extra effort?
concern is, don't just always go to one, one contractor or whatever, as far as that happening.
Yeah.
And,
Can we trust the management company to do that for under 5,000?
Why don't we put anybody for an amendment to split the difference?
What, can I just ask a question? So do we always, so we have that list of approved vendors, right? So do we always do 3 bids for every single thing that comes in? Or do
If
we-
it's over 5,000, whatever your spending limit is, we're required to do it.
Right.
So if you drop the spending limit down to 2,500, everything will be put in an RFP, and we'll have to get to 3 bids if it's over that a certain limit. But yeah, anything under that, like right now, if something comes up and we have to get a proposal, we'll just go to the person who we know we work with is probably gonna come in lowest. And then if the
And that will
price comes
show up.
back, yeah, if the price, if we think the price comes back high, I usually run it by Hal and say, Hal, this is a 3,000 proposal, do you want me to get another bid, what's your take? And if he says yes, even if it's under the spending limit, if he thinks it's high for what we're doing, then I'll say, okay, let me go bid it out, and then I'll bring it to you guys.
So I would just like to know the work that is being bidded and performed to ensure that we're doing that we're always following through, right? Because I know you guys are busy. And Cynthia, I thought we were going to use the projects functionality, the work order functionality.
That is supposed to be what is happening. So
Yeah, and so
I think
here's the-
most of it's going in manager action items as
Yeah.
opposed to work orders. So if you go in there, it should be in there.
Well, the last one was on February 27th, 2024.
What was it for?
It was for electrical street lights out in the greens.
Are you on your board action item?
I'm under board work order details, is that what I'm supposed to be?
I think it's under action, board action.
So what's the difference between a board and a board action item?
I cannot speak to that difference, but.
So a work order would typically be something that falls within the regular scope of work under your discretionary spending limit.
Okay, so I see the top lot, bathhouse, RFP. Okay.
Is that action item?
Yes.
So that is everything that we update, and we update that pretty much in real time, so.
And that's everything including 5,000 and under?
Yes.
Okay. And so would there be a way to, this might help you, Denise. Is there cost in here?
Yeah, so we attach the
Oh,
RFPs, we attach the proposal,
Okay.
so that everything
guess one concern I have is if something is being ordered for work as far as, and if it's, especially if it's a reserve item or a capital improvement item, and since our financials are a month behind, to be given a heads up on something that you're doing that we won't see for whatever. That if there's a transfer letter needed, because what I've been doing was keeping a few, like those two that they're for prior months.
Yeah.
But I do it because to accumulate the costs.
Yeah, we can do that, because I
For
know we
one
have
letter.
some mailbox repairs that just took place, and those will be reserved. So I can do that, we can try to keep a running spreadsheet of reserve items or.
If you could send that to me as you, or just an email saying,
Sure.
just did this, or we got this.
So none of what anyone has said here is wrong or inappropriate or out of line. And Shante represented accurately what I had advised in terms of what is typical for the industry. Bear in mind that $2,500 spending limit was approved 11 years ago. And costs are dramatically higher. So it was within reason 11 years ago, and it is low. From what I see in your board packets, Shante and Lorraine tend to go, I'm not going to say overboard, but they do tend to go above and beyond to make sure they're reaching out to multiple vendors on pricing. Really for things in another association with a almost $2.5 million budget, most managers would have their go-tos, and if it's under their discretionary spending limit, they're just going. Because their job is to be wise with the association's money, but their main function is to get the work done well and expediently. That's their main function, and that's why the board has oversight, that's why the board has discretionary spending limits, and all of that. So there is no wrong answer, and Larry's point is well taken about there are probably some homeowners who think that management is just with the money. And you're saying, no, we have a very close eye on all of that, but you probably don't see how involved Al is in the process.
That's one of the things I was going to mention, that
So that is good.
you're going to Al, or whoever happens to be president or whatever.
So when the board approved the $5,000 increase, really it is in part to make the board's life easier, to allow them to get work done faster. But in terms of a dog in the fight, management doesn't have an opinion. They can only advise on what they think is in the best interest of the association.
Yeah, I would say there's been 11 years since the 2,500. If you look at inflation from 11 years ago to now, 2,500 is about 5,000.
It was 2,000, it's 2,000 contract,
Oh,
the original contract.
It was 2,000 the original contract. Okay, so if we had, 11 years of inflation, we're looking at something like 4,000. I'm comfortable with the 5,000. I'm comfortable with just leaving it as is. I think that if we reduce the spending limit, it's going to cause all sorts of extra work. And also to Cynthia's point, I think expediency is important. I think getting things fixed quickly is important.
If people, if residents, some residents say as far as what the association is spending, or like, they said like this, but, if board members understand that, and if it can be explained to residents, maybe that might stop.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about inflation over $5,000. We're a huge community. We've had 10% inflation over the past 2 years, more than 10% inflation. 5,000 isn't that much money. And residents aren't going to be happy if there's something that costs $2,800 to fix, and it's going to take a month and a half because that expenditure has to be approved by the board and it has to go through the full process. I don't think that's fair to our residents. I don't think they want to wait a month and a half for something that only costs $2,800 to fix when it should get fixed immediately. So.
My concern is giving contractors a fair shake.
Yeah.
Don't always go just to one, or.
I think we have to trust our president, and I think our president is doing his due diligence.
Are you?
He is going above and beyond, yes.
What are you on?
Yeah, I trust that you're doing the right thing.
I trust you.
Yeah, it's like a pay raise.
Okay, it's like it's the fair, right?
Okay, look, we've got a motion on the floor right now. Okay, are you gonna go through with that, or what are you gonna do here?
So the
we have a
motion is to
been made
reduce it back to
approve
2. Right.
The 5,000. So,
So I think we have to reject the motion if that's what the group wants to do.
We vote on it.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
vote on it.
okay, all in favor of doing the motion? All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
I guess that settles that one. Okay, thank you. Management report, anybody have anything on regards to the management report?
I do have one request, and I guess maybe I got spoiled, but if, in the past, but if the manager can address, we've got this coming up, or kind of an overview.
So right now, we're in the throes of our pool bathhouses being renovated. They are almost finishing up. The walls have been done. All of the major work has been done. The last part of that is just doing the floors, which will take place this weekend. Then after that, that is done, and I think the homeowners and everyone will be very happy. We did a walkthrough. It looks great. So that is finishing up. That is done almost.
I'd like to make a suggestion, though, if they, once the floors are done, arrange a time for the board to go through there and take a look.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's a great idea.
I will let you know once they're completely done.
Yeah.
We have the yard sale coming up. We have,
There are people out in the Zoom and you can't hear.
yeah, we have the yard sale coming up. We also have the shred day. Those dates have been sent out in our weekly email blast. So we just hope you all come out and participate in both of those events. What else is going on? I think that's pretty much it for the main stuff. We'll be in touch with the residents in the greens once we have a date for the paving. That's our next big project. And then the mailboxes should be cleaned. As we have dates, we'll let everyone who is in those townhome communities know. I know the other area of concern, we have some lights out, I think in Dominion Forest. We are working on getting some additional bids. Our first bid that came out was rather expensive. And we just don't want that community to bear such a high price, so we are trying to get 2 additional bids. We're hoping that they come in within the next week or 2. Once those come in, those lights will be restored.
You know if there's any groundwork that's tied to that one? Where they've got to run one new wires?
That's the one that got a 4-shot, and yep, so.
Do you know what part of Dominion Forest Circle, or is it the Pine Valley area?
I think it's the Dominion Forest. It's like as soon as you come in, it's on the right-hand
Yeah.
side.
Because they've had some major work
Yeah,
on their streetlights in the past that
Yes.
cost a fortune.
same thing happened on the other side.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, it's, okay.
So that is pretty much it.
Will we have a report on the irrigation startup inspection to see what they find?
Yeah, so he was out there yesterday putting the well cap back on that he left off. He should give us a report by Friday. I think he's out inspecting this week, so by Friday we should have a report of what needs to be repaired and where we stand, so I'll pass it along.
And then the inspect and repair cluster mailboxes, was that the post or is that the washing and the painting on 430?
4:30.
See it down there?
Probably yes.
Okay, what is it? Is it the post or the washing and the painting?
It should be for the washing and the painting. Where were you?
I'm sorry. Yes, I know, that's what I was asking.
Yes, I think that just means that we were supposed to inspect it and have ours in here and then the bowl.
Okay. See.
And that's it.
Convene into executive session, please.
I move to convene into executive session to discuss
Personnel,
legal and delinquencies violations.
have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mary Ann. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you all for being here. That concludes our open session meeting. If anybody is here for an appeal hearing tonight, please hang back. If you're not, thank you so much.